Hello everybody, my name is Johnny Sigs and I am here today with another Dota 2 helpful hint video. I don't know what I'm really going to call these, but I will be doing these more regularly. There's great websites out there already, great YouTube channels out there already, like Dota Cinema, Purge Gaming. These guys who tell you how to play the character, and I'm going to go into how to deal with the characters. I've been getting a lot of requests about Bloodseeker and Lycan, and we're going to go ahead and do this in one video because it's really it's the same principle for both heroes. Basically, you can instantly counter these heroes at low levels, and we're going to talk about how to do both of them. But right now we're going to start with Bloodseeker. So Bloodseeker primarily goes mid, and what makes him really threatening is his Rupture ganks. Alright, so really you don't have to worry about it. Rupture at level 1 doesn't do a ton of damage. It's Rupture at level 2 that you're going to want to start worrying about because it almost doubles in potency at that point. So you gotta watch out for that. But let's go ahead and just look into the scenario where this mid Bloodseeker is coming to gank this Lion at level 1 over here. Alright, so let's assume that he goes ahead and silences him and then ruptures. Okay. The best way to counter that is to buy a teleport scroll. Right? One teleport out will prevent this gank from happening. It's really the most simple counter to any hero who's going to come and gank you like this without a disruption. Alright, so this is why this is effective with Bloodseeker and Lycan, both. Alright, because teleportation scrolls aren't stopped by silence, so you can silence him, and he's still going to be able to port out. Also, teleport scrolls aren't cancelled by Force Staff, so even if he manages to get a Force Staff this early in the game, and Force Staff you, he's not going to be able to disrupt your teleport. So really the best way to counter a Bloodseeker who you know is coming to gank you is to buy a teleport scroll and just keep it on you. Okay? Because that will prevent him from being able to ult gank you and just plow over you with that rupture and then a speed buff and jumping underneath tower. And it happens. It does work like that. And he will probably kill you. But if you buy a 135 gold teleport scroll, it completely negates his effectiveness. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at Lycan next, and just because he is a slightly different hero, because he does start in the jungle. Bloodseeker can jungle, but that's another entire video. So right now, what I want you to focus on is Bloodseeker comes to gank you, even with a Force Staff, even with his silence. Bloodseeker is countered by a 135 gold teleport scroll. Alright, so let's go ahead and stop this video, and we're going to come right back with Lycan.
I love to battle. Yes.
Alright guys, and now we're back with Lycan, who's one of the most aggravating heroes to lane against, or play against in general. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times that I've heard complaints about him just being an annoyance and auto-winning games, basically. He's up there with Anti-Mage right now in the map pool as far as pub games go. Alright, so I mean, as soon as you know how to deal with him, he becomes very, very weak. And so what we're going to do in this video is show you how to deal with him. Okay, first off, teleport scrolls. If you know he's in the jungle, you know he's going to gank you, buy a teleport scroll, keep it on you. He doesn't have a bash, he doesn't have any way to stop you from teleporting. So at early levels, teleport scrolls will counter him. The other way to counter him is to place wards in his jungle. Alright, there and here. So at the very smallest camp on the Radiant side and the medium camp on the Radiant side. Alright, this is going to prevent his jungle horrendously because he can't start at a hard camp, or at least it's going to slow him down dramatically. He's not going to be able to start at this camp or this camp. So if you ward here and here it's going to slow them down. And on the dire side, it's going to be a ward in this camp and a ward in this camp. All right, and that's going to slow down his jungle horrendously, because now he's going to have to go ahead, and I'm going to try to do this. I'm not great with Lycan. I never play him because he is very rude to play. But let's go ahead and try to jungle without that small camp initiation. Okay, and this is how Lycans do play. All right, you do go ahead and try to micro your wolves as much as possible. But trying to do it as best as I could, and remember in pub games the guys aren't going to be that great. Yeah, it's really hard to do this. All right, I mean I did get that first camp, that first monster camp, but really,
Of course.
really unsafe right now. But I mean, it's slowing me down. It's taking me 30 seconds to do this camp so far, and I still haven't killed it.
Hunting.
I'm having to waste all of my regen on this one camp to try to come and get it.
Wolves need no armor.
Okay, so I won't have a problem doing it, but it took me almost a minute to do this camp to get up,
Territory expand.
and wasted my regen. I wasted a salve and a tango
To battle.
to try to do one camp. Okay, now I'm going to come over here because I know that that's warded, and I'm going to come over here and look at that. Devastating. That camp isn't there either now, so I have to come over here.
My instincts are
Alright, and jeez, just an unlucky day to be playing Lycan. There's mud golems in this
Who
camp.
fears the wolf should fear the forest.
I mean, this is like worst case scenario for
Your
Lycan.
middle tower is under attack.
These guys are just absolutely hit like trucks. They don't take any kind of magic damage.
Your middle tower is under attack.
So I mean, again,
Lone wolf was high.
very difficult to jungle when you start warding his camps. So that was me legitimately trying. I mean, obviously I would have backed off there
Rises again.
because I knew I was going to die. But 2 wards here, they last for 6 minutes. They're going to prevent his creep camp so hard. Okay, and then if you put a ward right here or thereabout, probably right here is your best spot, so you can watch rune spawn. So this is going to be a team effort, because you don't want to buy 2 sets of wards off the bat unless you random. Okay, if you random 2 sets of wards off the bat is one of the most powerful starting ways you can start. But anyway, so you're going to ward here, you're going to ward here, and you're going to ward here. Now, bot lane is going to most likely have 2 people in it, because this is going to be the long lane, so you're going to want to have the safety net of 2 people here. And there's only going to be 1 person in this lane because Lycan's going to be jungling. So what does that do? That shows you map vision here and here. You're going to be able to see Lycan as soon as he starts to here, early ganks. All right, so you're going to want to get somebody who's got a stun lock, Sand King, Enigma, probably not Enigma because he's going to be wanting to be in the jungle anyway, but somebody with a stun lock, Earthshaker, Sand King, Storm Spirit, you know, any of these characters are going to want to be in this safe lane, or in this long lane with your carry, or a damage output, alright, and then you're going to want to go ahead and gank him as often as possible. So the ways you counter Lycan: teleport scrolls at early levels, warding his jungle camps, and ganking him as frequently as you see him while being safe. All right, if mid's missing and bot's missing and you're going to gank Lycan, that's really not a good idea.
But your bottom tower is under attack.
The other thing that you have to worry about with Lycan and not Bloodseeker is Lycan can do Roshan once he gets a Vladimir's.
Your bottom tower
All right.
is under attack.
So you gotta put a ward here, put a ward here, and then put a vision ward down here on the low ground. All right, and the reason why you're going to want to do that is because smoking Lycans, they're going to pop smoke and then they're going to run in here. Smoke of Deceit lets them go invisible, so your wards won't pick them up. You want to put a sentry ward here just to see him go into the Roshan cave. All right. Really easy for Lycan to do Roshan once he gets a Vladimir. So you got to keep an eye on that, keep an eye on his gear, try to stop him early game. And then as far as late game goes, Lycan really gets disabled by characters like Pudge, whose ult will go through BKB. The damage won't, but the lockdown will. So you get that lockdown on him, which is great. Necrolight's lockdown also goes through BKB. Other heroes like that, whose ult will go through BKB. Naga Siren's another really hard counter for him. Throwing the net on him prevents him using his movement speed. But really what you want to focus on is stopping his early game. If you can stop him early game, you're going to be fine. Alright. So that's the best advice that I can give for you. For Bloodseeker, early levels, carry a Town Portal Scroll. After that, he drops off really hard. He's not a really strong hero. So Town Portal Scrolls, early levels, counter him. And then for Lycan, early Town Portal Scrolls, warding the jungle is very important. And constant ganks are also really important. And then for late game, you want heroes like Pudge, Necrolight, Naga Siren. Heroes who can, even though he's got a BKB, can still disable him, can still slow him, still prevent him from catching your squishies off guard. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back with more videos on how to deal with enemy heroes. So feel free to leave comments down below on which heroes you're having the most difficulty with, and I will try to address those as soon as possible.